All right, we got some feedback. Radio Rod wrote in to discuss a little bit of internet history. I hadn't even thought about this in so long. He says, I used to operate an old school R&B streaming music station for over 11 years on Live365. Remember Live365, I'm sure, Ron.
Yep.
He says they had to be the first to offer such a service as they were in business for over 17 years. Independent DJs could broadcast live, upload their music to Live365 servers as they kept a record of what songs were streamed. They would then forward royalties to ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and SoundExchange from funds paid by broadcasters, sponsors, and VIP listener memberships. Then, with little notice, they went out of business in early 2016. Now, in January 2017, there is a website up using their name and logo claiming they're back. Almost all buttons point to coming soon or similar statements. I'm very skeptical that this is the real deal. Is Live365 really coming back? So first of all, I remember Live365. I would say that I was necessarily a regular user that I can remember of. Like, it wasn't a site that I relied on, but I remember the days of the independent music streaming DJ. You know, there were, I mean, they were everywhere, and Live365 was at the top of the heap as far as that was concerned.
Yeah, no, I absolutely remember that, and it's kind of fascinating to see that, you know, they were that's a brand that I absolutely remember as being in play, and then, you know, much like a lot of these services that emerged in the mid 2000s as we got towards 2010 or so, they kind of faded out, and you just assume either they go away or go out of business. I didn't know what happened to Live365, and it's a fascinating story. It's kind of cool to see that someone's trying to bring it back.
Right. So basically, real quick before we talk about someone who's bringing it back, so basically what happened is there was an expiration of the Webcasters Settlement Act of 2009. That happened in December of 2015, which basically forced a transition from paying a percentage of revenue, which is how services like Live365, small and medium-sized services like Live365 could afford to operate. They were only paying a portion of the revenue, to paying per stream with a set amount per stream. And that basically shut companies like Live365 out of business. It allowed the big players like Pandora and other services to continue and to thrive because they could weather that storm. So that happened. That pushed Live365 out. When I looked into this, why it's back, sure enough, apparently a 23-year-old graduate from University of Pittsburgh did indeed acquire Live365 through bankruptcy court. John Stevenson is his name. He says there were no solutions right now for small webcasters to broadcast like they did while still be compliant to licensing requirements. And so he's trying to bring it back. No employees at the moment, he says. He's relying on contractors to work to bring Live365 back to market. I think this is kind of a wait and see. It seems like the website is obviously a signal that he's working on it. We'll see how far he gets it. You know, this is a challenging industry. It was challenging before, and now with current regulations, it's even more challenging. I mean, even the big players in this industry are having a really hard time making money doing this stuff.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm playing around the website now, and it looks like it's up and running, but when you dig deep, you realize that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You know, like I go to listen to a radio station, it says coming soon, coming soon, coming soon.
Right.
But hey, I applaud him. 23-year-old kid who's got a vision, and he's right. You know, like audio. I actually tweeted the other day that in relation, there was an article in Ad Age about how businesses these days need to have an audio strategy in terms of what they're doing, whether it's through radio or podcasts or streaming or whatever. And audio is as we know it. Jason, you and I are both big believers in audio. So the more opportunities for independent people to be able to broadcast using these great tools of the internet that we have, the better. So I wish them luck.
Yeah. But thanks for bringing our attention to this, Radio Rod. It was good to hear from you, and it was good to kind of like remember Live365. I had completely forgotten it. Apparently a lot of people had, but maybe coming soon, it'll be back.